Yo, what's up guys? So today we're going to be showcasing off an Uria Lord of Searing Flames deck. This is going to be something that I think a lot of people will be hyped up to go ahead and mess around. We're going to be doing 45,000 damage, so it's a super OTK deck. You can consistently get out like 20,000 damage with this by getting double Uria. It doesn't really matter, you're going to be one-shotting your opponent most of the time anyways, but it is cool to kind of see some of these legacy card or archetypes getting some newer support. But anyways, Uria Lord of the Searing Flames, if you guys haven't seen him before, how he works is you send 3 face-up trap cards you control to the graveyard, and it can't be special summoned by other ways, but there's a lot of stuff that will basically ignore that. But it gains 1,000 attack for each continuous trap card in your graveyard, and then you get to target a set spell and trap card your opponent controls, you get to pop it, and then you cannot activate anything in response to it. So basically what you do is utilize a bunch of trap cards. Normally you'd think continuous, but the new support doesn't require that. So all you need to do is summon Uria Lord of Searing Flames, which is really easy because Dark Summoning Beast, literally you just tribute it, and you can go ahead and just special summon it, and then you can banish it to add one from your deck to your hand. So it's really consistent to be able to summon Uria. The card that you really also need to make this combo work is Fallen Paradise. This card is literally pot or greed every single turn at no cost, other than you controlling Uria Lord of Searing Flames, which you're going to do because it's an Uria deck. And it makes it so Uria cannot be destroyed by card effects, and it cannot be targeted. And then, for no reason, if you control one of them, you get to go ahead and just draw 2 cards every single turn. So you can see it's pot or greed every turn for nothing, and that's why it's really insane, and that's what allows you to really stall out with the T-Roars, the Wabakus, if you want to Thunder of Ruler. There's a lot of other cards that are just utilized just again to stall, but remember, every single turn you're drawing 3 cards. Hopefully you can draw 1 Wabaku or something, but if your cards go away, it's really not that big of a deal because the new card, I gotta pause it here because there's a lot of explaining to do. So Hyper Blaze allows all the new shenanigans to go ahead and happen. So Hyper Blaze over here is a continuous trap card that says to special summon Uria Lord of Searing Flames. Using its own procedure, you can send face down traps you control to the graveyard instead of face up ones, or a combination of both. So you can do face up and face down. And then once per turn, when an attack is declared involving your Uria Lord of Searing Flames, you get to send 1 trap from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and its attack and defense become 1,000 times the number of traps on the field and in the graveyards. So if your opponent happens to have any trap cards, most decks don't really opt to go ahead and play them. I'm going to see if this guy's even playing any trap card. Okay, so he's playing like 1, 2, maybe 2. But for the most part, I mean, if you are playing against maybe all 3 guys or some deck that throws a lot of stuff into the graveyard, or you can even maybe make your opponent mill cards, whatever the case may be, right? You're going to be able to do a huge bonus amount of damage because it's times 1,000 times the number of traps on the field in the graveyards. And then on top of that, it says even if this card leaves the field. So you get to take an Uria Lord of Searing Flames, Haman or Raviel from your graveyard and either special summon it or add it to your hand. It says if it has been properly summoned, but you get to summon it ignoring its summoning conditions, which is weird because it also says that it has to be summoned properly, whatever. Anyways, nonetheless, most of the time when you're getting it out anyways, it's totally fine, unless of course you're just discarding that one. But you're going to be able to get out multiple copies of Uria really fast. And this is something I also need to explain. Dark Summoning Beast will be special summon or normal summon, additional normal summon with Dark Beckoning Beast. So Dark Beckoning Beast, when it's normal summon, you get to add an Uria, and then you get to get an additional normal summon of a monster with 0 attack and defense, which Dark Summoning Beast is. So this card lets you add 1, or you could go ahead and just add whatever combo piece you need for the combo here, because this card over here lets you add 1 card that specifically lists any of those Uria Lord of Searing Flames in its text. So that's how you go ahead and summon these really easy, and this card also summons the Uria over here. But he's going to go ahead and send 3 additional cards over here. I wish you kept the other one. I wish you had 2 of these over here up on the board because it would have been even spicier. But nonetheless, he's going to go ahead and set some cards because he's going to get more bonus attack on trap cards, even on the field. So he's going to go ahead and send 1 card to the graveyard via the effect of the Hyper Blaze, and he's going to get a bunch of bonus attack. And that works for every single one that attacks. He had 1 card that protects it. I think it was this one over here. The first time you destroy battle, it's not destroyed. So he's got 3 monsters with 14,000, but the other one's going to proc its effect, and now you can see 3 Urias And I guess we technically had number 49, so that's over 45,000 potential damage up on the board. He obviously left. He didn't want to get smacked by the 15k Uria, but there it is, guys, over 45,000 damage up on the board. And because sometimes the Dark Beckoning Beasts can be left on the board, I think you can definitely use some extra room in the extra deck here for any of the Nightmare cards, so you can go ahead and pop any back row, or just get some extra damage in if you want to go ahead and run, what is it, Dagusto, is it Dagusto Phoenix? I believe it is, it can hit for another 3k, but I mean, it's overkill. It's just troll at this point, but it's cool to see that much damage, and he's got another Hyper Blaze up on the board. So anyways, now that you guys have seen it in action, let me go ahead and give you guys the deck profile for this build, and I also want to give you guys some suggestions for other trap cards that can definitely be great in here, and as well as the extra deck, because the extra deck over here, we don't have that much room. Or I'm sorry, we have a lot of room, is what I should say. But some of the new cards that I do want to mention that didn't get to show themselves. Gravehole could be an excellent card. It is kind of like a hand trap, but it's just a trap. Anyways, when your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or graveyard, or their banished monsters effect, you get to negate that effect and just do 2,000 burn damage. So I think this card could be not only good to negate and kind of protect your card, specifically it's this card that you want to protect because this card already protects your Uria. But that 2,000 damage could be kind of nice because sometimes if your opponent summons a monster, maybe like 3,000-ish attack, and you get your Uria up to a certain amount of attack, that extra 2,000 is the difference between winning and losing a game sometimes. Other cards, I think Thunder of Ruler could also be a great stall card as well, because what you're really just trying to do is make it so your opponent doesn't get rid of the cards, because if you immediately activate Wabaku, they're probably not going to go ahead and destroy Fallen Paradise that turn, because they're going to be like, oh, he's probably got another one, or whatever the case may be. There is the other card that lets you add one, or is it when your opponent like special summons? I forgot the name of it. It's a quick play spell card. Let me actually go for it, because this is actually kind of important. It's a quick play that lets you activate one field. Activate a field. It activates a field spell card. Someone please let me know in the comment section below what it is. It lets you let me type in field spell. Oh, Demise the Land. Okay, so when your opponent special summons, you get to select a field spell card from your deck and activate it. This is the card I think that's very important because Fallen Paradise, it really allows this deck to just, again, just get that pot of greed effect every single turn while you control Uria. So I think that this could be an excellent addition to the deck. I would probably max out on these because, again, this card is so important in the deck. I'd throw in Terraforming as well, because without it, you're not, I mean, if you have multiple, whatever, like you're still getting that extra draw power, which is nice. I'll also give you guys other suggestions. Let me go to the deck profile first, and then we'll get into it. But I'm gonna shout out to my boy Zeke over here for hooking me up with the gameplay with a 45,000 attack board. So 3 copies of Uria, no brainer. 3 copies of Dark Summoning Beast, so this lets you tribute it, special summon Uria, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then on top of that, you get to banish it to add another one. So it's really consistent to go ahead and go for the Urias here, but you need to go for it fast, again, for the draw power. And then we got 2 copies of Tour Guide. Tour Guide lets you go ahead and go for Sangan. Sangan lets you go ahead and add Dark Summoning Beast, as well as Dark Beckoning Beast. So Dark Beckoning Beast lets you add Uria, or you can add a card that specifically lists those cards in its text. And then during your main phase, you get an additional normal summon of a Fiend monster with 0 attack. And then that's how you basically get out your Dark Beckoning Beast, because it is a level 5 monster over here. And then we got the Perform Power 5 Arc Magician, which is technically another card you can search off of Sangan. But anyways, this card has the effect where it's kind of a troll card, but it still works. So anyways, this, where is it? Each player applies one of these effects based on the number of set cards in their spell and trap zone. So if you have 4 more, the attack of all monsters they control become double their original attack. The original attack on this is 0 anyways, Kappa. But if it's 0, all monsters they control cannot attack or activate their effects. So it forces them to kind of go ahead and place those cards there, because if they don't, then they can't really do anything. So that's how you can actually fake your opponent out and make your Uria even stronger. It kind of makes them more committed to the board, if that makes sense. Otherwise, yeah, they're not going to be able to really do anything. They need to make sure they save that extra card. This was a card that a lot of people utilized in the variants with any like Mystic Mind. Heck, you can throw Mystic Mind here too, because you can just slap this on top after. Mystic Mind just forces your opponent to go ahead and get rid of it. And then we've got the Foolish Burial. Then we've got 3 copies of Hand Destruction over here, and then 3 copies of Fallen Paradise. So this card is just foolish to go ahead and just grab that card out real easy here. And then Yeah, Fallen Paradise, Pot of Greed, great card. And then 3 copies of Storming. This lets you go ahead and bounce back everything, especially from the extra. This card is excellent, I think, for that. And it also does protect your Uria in the case that they get rid of this and they try to go ahead and attack it. It doesn't have any stats, right? And then we have 3 copies of the Waboku, 3 copies of Bottomless, 3 copies of Conscription. I'm not sure how I honestly feel about Conscription or Bottomless. I think that even this card, sometimes it's just too slow. I think Solemns could be a great addition to this deck, just because those cards are actually fast enough to deal with whatever's getting rid of Fallen Paradise. This is a card that you actually do need to protect. So strikes, warnings, I think those could be excellent additions, even Solemn Judgment, because remember, you're going to be getting that bonus attack from all trap cards, and you don't need the continuous ones. So yeah, Bottomless over here. I think this card could be dropped. Conscription over here. Most people don't play this card, but you get activate the top card of your opponent's deck, and if it's a monster that can be normal summoned or set, you get to place it on your field. So that gives you instant tribute potential for Dark Summoning Beast, but I just didn't recommend it. Yeah, he trolled the other guy, got the pencil plume, but I think overall it's kind of minus. It's RNG though. Sometimes maybe you get a really good card, right? Maybe you get a Fossil Dino off your opponent. That'd be troll, but Gravehole over here, again, I think this card's pretty decent because, again, it does like have potential to stop your opponent's plays, and then also they take 2,000 burn damage. And then we have T-Roar, that's great, and then Quaking over here, this makes it so everything goes to face down. You still have to attack over the monster, so even though you have an insane amount of attack, again, it's face down, it can't be changed. As long as they have something to attack into, you can usually one-shot most decks, because again, with 15,000 attack, you're one-shotting your opponent, unless you're doing a tag duel. And then also Metaverse, great card, again, because it really does need this. And then 3 copies of Hyperbole. So as far as the extra goes, got Fortune Tune, he put a Zenming, Shadow Lich over here, Crystal, Cronley, Chrononaut, and then Cyberus Dragon Long over here, so it has that effect to potentially negate an effect, but at that point you're not getting your Sangan effect. But I think that you could definitely add any of the Nightmares here. You can even throw in, I think, a great addition to this deck, since you don't need the extra deck, is Oh, that's because we're under quick play over here. So if you go to like Extravagance here, I think this would be a great addition to the deck. I would definitely drop out on the Bottomlesses. This card, unfortunately, like I said, I feel it's personally too slow, and I kind of want to make this deck a little bit more, I would say, in the competitive area. And I would suggest these cards. But if you guys want to go ahead and make other suggestions, you guys can let me know it down below in the comment section below. I think these could be a great little starter here for some of you guys. Even maybe Thunder Ruler. You could drop this card if you want to completely. But again, sometimes that small damage does help. But anyways, if you guys would like to make any changes, let me know down below in the comment section below. But there it is, guys, an Uria Lord of Searing Flames OTK using the new Hyper Blaze. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel here, hit subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll see more crazy Yu-Gi-Oh videos very soon. And if you guys want to send me on the replays.com, boy Zeke, thanks once again, buddy. And if you guys want to do that, AzneyesReplays@gmail.com, just attach the YRP file. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next video. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.